Wow, this article. It's about Stellar Blade again and why it's wrong to like it.
Attractive to who? To what gender? What sexuality? What nationality? A lot in that choice is assuming a lot of things about who the developers think the player is going to be.
Yeah, it's called target demographic. Every product has one. It's a perfectly reasonable assumption. Do you want to see an insane assumption?
If she could move for herself, it would shatter the illusion of many of the gamers championing her, because she'd have the agency to be able to reject them rather than simply be controlled by them.
Wow, this sentence is bonkers. Gamers aren't delusional control freaks who think that controlling video game characters is the same as controlling people in real life. Do you seriously believe that? It also assumes that video game characters can have agency. No, they don't. They are fictional characters. You are delusional to entertain this idea, even hypothetically. This sentence is delusional, and this article is horrible to take this idea seriously. The excuses the article made to hate Stellar Blade are baffling to me. A lot of it is not even from the writer's point of view, it's from a bunch of other people's point of view. Don't worry, it gets worse. This take from that Stellar Blade article is ridiculous.
It's not about making games less sexy. It's about making games more sexy for more people.
Then every type of sexy should be okay. You should not be complaining about characters like Eve, and yet here you are. I agree that we should have a diverse range of sexiness like muscle mummies, dad bods, and disabled people like Kato Shoujo. It's a great visual novel, but an odd choice of preference. What I don't agree with is you going after Stellar Blade because it only appeals to straight men. What's wrong with making games that only appeal to straight men? Is it because you feel excluded? The article says that half of gamers are women, but that's irrelevant because not every game needs to appeal to everyone. Cooking Mama is not exactly a manly game. Male and female gamers don't always play the same games. This is like saying half of women play toys compared to men. If you're talking about Uno or Jenga, I believe you, but not Transformers or Barbie. Target demographics. Learn it. Why do these companies keep on buying these ideas? It's a huge misrepresentation of reality. It's a bunch of freaking lies. Again, men and women don't play the same games the same way boys and girls don't buy the same toys. In general, at least. Let me show you why. This is a stupid slide. Gender identity is on the spectrum, which I guess is true, but I find the examples that they use for the extreme ends interesting. The first N is Barbie and the second N is G.I. Joe. So what's the middle one? Tomboy or femboy? I love how the women's scale is 1 and the man is 12.
How progressive.
This slide right here just shows that men and women have different interests. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are people that will find something wrong with it. Why do Transformers not have a lot of female characters? The same reason why Barbie doesn't have a lot of male characters. Different toys appeal to different genders. I don't like that toys intended for one demographic have to be shaped and molded so that it appeals to both. Warhammer is a good example. We are an inclusive and welcoming community, but if you don't like what happened to Warhammer, get lost! Okay then, guess we'll buy other toys. That's what these ideologues are doing. They're coming to your hobbies to co-opt them and turn them into something that they're not. This happens so often to a lot of my favorite fandoms that I grew more and more apathetic. They clearly don't want me in the fandom anymore. So I quit. I move on to other stuff for other hobbies. Good luck cultivating that fan base for a couple of years before you killed the franchise for good. Most people should quit if you ask me. Don't spend money on the franchise and let it die, so that the people who own the franchise realize that you are more valuable than they think. I don't understand the hostility towards gaming because they're not inviting to women. What are you talking about? We do have women enjoying them. They've been enjoying them since the Atari era. They're just not as big as us. And that makes sense. But it doesn't mean that the hobby is inaccessible. Most women just prefer doing other hobbies. There's this thing called periphery demographic, where a media made for a certain demographic is enjoyed by people outside of that. Most games have a male demographic in mind, but that doesn't mean women can't enjoy them. There's nothing wrong with women not enjoying our hobby. Most men don't enjoy playing with Barbies either, but you don't see men going to Barbies and ask where the men are. Not every game should be for all genders. That's what most mainstream games are for. Oh, but men are the ones holding the power, and women going after men's hobbies is only fair. I'll just use one of your arguments, except it's true this time. Just say you hate men and leave. Jeez, we got a lot more stuff to tackle on this video. But before we get to all those, as always, this video is brought to you by all these wonderful sponsors. You are all absolutely fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below. Just $1 is a lot of support to this channel. Seriously, thank you so much. And now, let's introduce one more game into the discourse. Hades. Now, I love Hades. No, scratch that. I love all the games from Supergiant. They made some of my favorite indie games. Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, these are all great games, and they all vary in gameplay. Pyre is particularly unique. I highly recommend that. Hades is their take on roguelikes, and it's pretty much their best hit yet, and I love Hades too. It's a fantastic game. I can't wait for their second game, and it's a shame that the game got put into this discourse. In a game journals clique, we have people bashing Stellar Blade for being sexual, but praising Aphrodite from Hades for also being sexual. Why is that?
Aphrodite is the goddess of sexual love and beauty.
Yeah, and Eve is also the name of the first woman ever lived from the Garden of Eden. Your point?
It's the point, and that's the difference between this and some other depictions of hot women. There's a purpose.
Yeah, we can also make the same argument for Eve. The only thing that's missing is Adam being naked. Yes, there's an Adam in the game too, but he's not as sexualized. Point is, you're just making an excuse, and it's still a subjective one at that, so your excuse is no more valid than ours.
The Aphrodite design is way less sexualized than Eve's.
That's just a straight up lie. Eve wears a skin-tight suit. Aphrodite wears literally nothing. Last time I checked, people were turned on with less clothing, not more. I'm cool with both characters. I just don't like why one is somehow morally better than the other. That's my biggest problem with this discourse. They're using morality as an argument to justify why sexualization of one character is fine, but other characters are not. It's just a taste. Nothing wrong with having a taste. I mean, I don't like the video game character AI edits, but I don't insinuate that liking them is wrong or immoral. This right here is a perfect example of this point. Here are more dumb excuses why Aphrodite from Hades is okay, but Eve from Stellar Blade is not.
It is all about character agency. The characters in Hades look like that because they want.
Yeah, the same thing can be said for Dead or Alive Extreme characters. They too are very confident about how they look.
If Eve had a personality that demonstrated she looks the way she wants, no one would be complaining.
Either she wants to dress like that or doesn't care because she has bigger problems to deal with, like the world being filled with monsters. Or, here's another possibility, she's a fictional character. It doesn't matter if she's as confident as Bayonetta, she is still an object at the mercy of the writer. Eve can literally go in front of the camera and say, I consent to the players playing dress up on me, and you will still find problems with it. How about we stop treating fictional characters as real people that have agency and start treating them as objects being made by the writers? And this leads to another problem that I want to discuss about the hypocrisy of this ordeal. Diversity in media is a nice thing to have, but it's not a necessary requirement. It's not a moral obligation. When you treat diversity and representation as moral obligations rather than a nice thing to do, that's when I know where your priorities are. You don't want quality products, you just want to be noticed. You want attention. That's what a lot of the arguments boil down to. Personally, I prioritize quality media over diversity. Without having good quality media, all the diversity is for nothing. Why bother having a diverse cast in a crap game or a crap movie? At the very least, the media that star the diverse cast should be good. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It just has to be entertaining and fun. Saints Row 1 and 2 are GTA clones, but they're fun GTA clones with a diverse cast. The same cannot be said for the Saints Row reboot. Diverse cast, but garbage game. Watch Dogs 2 is the reboot Saints Row done right. Not a masterpiece, but a good game with a nice cast. The thing about diversity is that it's not just the cast that needs to be diverse in terms of their gender or race or physical characteristics. There needs to be a diversity in personality and character traits. This is where Hades excels. It has a diverse cast and personalities, which is to be expected for a game about Greek gods. But like I said before, this is not a necessity. This is a nice thing to have. Good writing should be at the top of the list of priorities over a diverse cast or a sexy character. Just because your cast is diverse doesn't mean they're good quality.
Aphrodite knows she's hot. You can tell by how she looks at you. Eve doesn't. She's posed but expressionless.
Yeah, that's because her world is ending. I don't know if you thought about that, but that's not exactly a happy prospect.
Hades too has a wide range of character skin tones, ages, body type. Stellar Blade's women seem to only look like Eve.
Hades' characters are gods and goddesses. They can look however they like. Eve is not a god, and she must save the world. And even if she is a god, having a wide range of character skin tones, ages, and body types are no better than having just one. The diversity of all these characteristics does not guarantee good writing. I am more confident with the writing of Hades than I am with Stellar Blade, but that doesn't make Stellar Blade have bad writing. We don't really know because the game's not out yet. I think there's more to it than just Eve looking sexy. We'll see about that in a couple days, shall we? Agree? And that's all for the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out my ABB Show stream channel. Link down below. Go subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.